Hola chicas y chicos, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you my eyebrow routine. I get pretty detailed about my eyebrows and the eyebrow technique itself in the video, so I'm not going to take up too much of your time with a long intro. I do hope that you guys find this video helpful, and I hope that you are able to put it to good use when filling in your eyebrows. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so y'all already know this is an eyebrow tutorial. You're going to see me without my eyebrows. Do not roast me. I will haunt you with my no eyebrow face. So I'm going to take these off. Nobody scream. Okay, so first off, to do your eyebrows, here's what you need. You definitely need an eyebrow pencil or an eyebrow pomade. I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in the color medium brown. You need an eyebrow, if you have an eyebrow pencil, you don't need a brush. If you're using a pomade, you want an angled eyebrow brush. I'm just using one. I think this is from e.l.f. And it has like a little spoolie at the end to comb them out. And then you'll need a concealer and a concealer brush for cleanup after you draw your eyebrows on. So I'll be looking over here because I have my mirror set up. So just to give you guys a little bit of background, my eyebrows are tatted and they're a little uneven, so I have to really create the shape from scratch. And as you can see, I don't have too much eyebrow hair. There's like not much on there, and where it does grow, I don't want it. So this is pretty much what I'm working with. So if you have thicker eyebrows, you're probably going to have an easier time creating the shape than I am. But this will be good practice for those of you who don't have much to work with. This video was requested by Lorena on Snapchat. That's my cousin, y'all. Hey girl, thank you for requesting the video. But if you guys do have any recommendations for videos, don't be shy. If you're not following me on Snapchat, you can follow me there and then submit your recommendations through Snapchat. That'll be listed down below. You can also do that through Instagram, but I'm not on Instagram as much as I'm on Snapchat, just because Snapchat is super easy and you have to prep for Instagram photos. But anyway, one quick tip, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this before because I've seen it 1,000 times. The shape of your eye will definitely tell you the shape of your eyebrow to go for. You can play it up or completely make it different if you'd like, but if you want to play it safe, here's how you know what shape to follow. So I'm just going to dip my brush into the pomade. Hella spit. And your starting point is going to be right where your nose, like this little part of your nose, right next to it. You're going to go up with the brush and you're going to come down and you're just going to make a small line. That's where your eyebrow is going to start. Then from that same area, you're going to cross the middle of your eye. So I'm going to look right into the mirror because I don't want to be looking to the side when I do this. Right across in the middle of your eye when you're looking straight, that's going to be where the angle's at. So you're going to do the same thing. Drag it down and make a line. And then finally at the edge of your nose, which is right on the side here, you're going to do the same thing and bring it down, and that's where the tail is going to end. Now it's just a matter of connecting all of those lines. So I'm just going to connect the first and the second lines first. Then I'll start to feather up with the brush, just one stroke at a time to keep it looking as natural as possible. Now we're going to connect this second line to the tail. With the tail, you don't have to be as right-handed just because you do tend to have thicker hair in the tail and you don't want it to be feathered. You want it to be nice and strong. So just fill it in. You can kind of see a little bit of feathering strokes. It looks a little bit more like hair. If you want more of like a solid, just like one solid block kind of an eyebrow, that's totally okay. That's how mine look when they're just tatted. However, this makes them look a little bit more natural. So now for the real challenge of this eyebrow tutorial is trying to make your second eyebrow look somewhat like your first one. So we're going to follow the exact same technique. Bitch.
That's a blooper.
Okay, so now we're going to connect that first line to the second, and then again the second to the third. Be mindful of your strokes when you're doing this first part, and try to keep them light if you're trying to go for like a more natural look. However, if you're not, then by all means fill them in how you'd like. Make sure you keep your strokes nice and short, especially when you're connecting the lines. Don't do one large line, you're just increasing your chances of making a mistake. So just small strokes as you make your way across. Okay, so at this point they're going to look a little bit different, and that's when we clean them up with concealer. I will say though, as you're applying the product, you're going to want to keep applying more product, because the less product that's on your brush, the broader your strokes are going to get. Like when you do a line, it's going to be a thicker line, whereas if you put more product in there, it'll be easier to get a softer, thinner, more narrow line. And then just of course remember to have your brush that's pretty thin, it's pretty flat like along the side, like this one. It's not super chunky. So now for cleaning, we're going to go in with any concealer brush you may have that's relatively small and can fit comfortably in the areas of your eye. And I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in Sand Beige. Actually, just sand. I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the color Sand. And when you're cleaning them up, you're trying to get them as similar as you possibly can. But I think the way to be most successful when you're doing your eyebrows is to accept that they're not going to be perfect. Like try to get them as close as you can, but they're not going to be exact. It's not a big deal. Like learn to walk away from them, because otherwise you'll be doing your eyebrows all day. I usually press the concealer in between my fingers to make it, the brush, to make it nice and flat, to give me a nice thin line. So you have full control of it as you're wiping product away. So I'm just going to make a line. And then wipe it away. And then I'm going to pat that line in to blend it. So I'm making that concealer brush nice and flat. And I'm just going to pat it in. At this point, if I felt like they looked too blocky in the inner part of the brow, like this part here, this one looks a little bit more feathered than this one. So if I feel like this one looks too blocky, I would go ahead and go in with the same concealer brush, grab a little bit more concealer, and get it right on the tip. So it's just going to be right on the tip of the brush. And here's where it can get a little bit tricky. This is if you're feeling like super extra with your eyebrows. So I'm going to go in with the concealer and do linear motions like this to make it look like I did feathered motions with the eyebrow brush. But sometimes you get like a really thick line and you try to do a line over it and it just becomes like a thick, blocky looking eyebrow. So here's how to create a little bit more of a sparse look in the inner part of the brow. And then once I have a few lines in there that make it look more like the other one, I'm going to use my spoolie and just brush upward. Not too harsh, just enough to blend in the product that's already on the brow. So blend in that concealer, and if you find that it's still too light, because it can look a little bit ashy even, just be very careful when you're doing your lines this time. So that's how I do my eyebrows. If you're using a pencil, you can use the same technique as far as like shaping the brow, but obviously it's going to be different as far as the tools that you're using. But definitely do whatever works best for you, whatever you're the most comfortable with. And regardless of what people tell you your shape is, like if you feel good rocking it, if you feel like doing a different shape one day, going darker, going lighter, do whatever you feel the most comfortable with. Please go ahead and check out my Snapchat so you can recommend different videos that you would like to see. And then if you like this video, if you found it useful, like and subscribe and share it with your friends so we can all get good practice on doing our eyebrows. Otherwise, I really do appreciate you taking your time to watch another one of my videos, and I really hope to see you again on the next one.